Hey there, mateys. This is Scary Scouts, the Pirates of the Caribbean film series here, and welcome to the Pirates of the Caribbean film series movie madness and the film series movie marathon. But today is 2003 and 145 minutes ago, and as long as the news of the character is mostly having for verified for the naturals and for doing the for the fairs. Washington State Fair for Piala Fair. Take over from the same thing about the Sinbad ride, including Ghost Pirates Dark ride. Um, it's kind of like the people just love those things about few things, and those are ever to being right about it. Very emotional ways. Um, and she takes it like it about few things to do, and felt things and a very beloved emotional thing. If you guys wanted to see you guys at about film theaters, if you can't, unfortunately, if it's determinations, all you do is just very emotional, be wasting the time. And most of them have very movies that they call it the characters. And the Pelops Man of War has HMS Dauntless as captain of the British Royal Navy from England. This is the girl. There's a younger woman, a young girl, just standing around with the fog in the ocean, and then Kevin McNally plays Josh Me Gibbs, as he's talking about the pirates, as the pirates and the dead men tell no tales in the fog, and this is this morning. Um, when there's a young man just stranded into the woods, into the water, he after what happens there. He after very involved, and I there see the fire ship. Then I see the fire ship was going on there. It looks the same thing, the same that yesterday. So before I am very interested before for the last 13 years ago. Same thing for you, and so you've been watching it about for the marathons just as today. In the first movie, The Curse of the Black Pearl, um, they literally just been to the battles. They literally just the skirmishers, battles and fight, and they're explosive into the water, then sunken into the for the Davy Jones locker in the beach. Um, they're not so sure that a lot of crew died in about younger for 20 years, younger for the 10 years, about 1730. Well, here's the one I think. For 10 years past, when the Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom for the last 13 years, Elizabeth just woke up. Here's been dream of it. It was about last 10 years, and she seems in the pirate flag and the Jolly Roger. When the first scenes as the Black Pearl, as she notices his son woke up at his father, Jonathan Price as Governor Weatherby Swan, and ladies help her to dress up for he's going to ready to and the forces assembly, with the same commodores, commodores. He's his commander and his commander of his army. He was telling he was a literal just seemed somehow was insane, emotional in time. Um, for Will Turner, as 20, as he returned there, he was younger. He seems William and seems him some once in a while. Once and it's good, so great to see him. Say hello there. So he look up at the downstairs, walking down there, and she's leaving. She looks left of her side. When the sword just saw him and what was it learning to react to. She was the saber, a cutlass, a rapier, and she talks to them to each other, and he lives it in a nice residence house, and a horse chariot was arrival from the fortress and from the Port Royal, and for the city. and there's the boat out there, and there's the boats out there, and most of the sea, the part of it. And then, when the Captain Jack Sparrow's arrival from Tortuga, and he was from known as a Breathencourt, his dad, his Captain Teague Sparrow. Um, he'd been welcomed there for the East India Trading Company from Lord Carlos Beckett for the second and third movie, and it's very busy. And it's very coming up. A third one is coming tomorrow. Well, for the first day for when I landed there for the port on the Port Wise port, and when they have the ship sunk, and the three skeletons, he has very be friendly. He looks a lot of crewmen, a lot of the ladies and guys, just as looking at them, he says he looks like about Mr. Smith, and he looks like about same captain, him as captain in the water, captain in the ship. He been raised about he joined us been about tattoos on it, and it was a EITC. It was been about a company as another wicked wench as pirate. As a bender as once in a while, and bender once in chills. So when the marches about the British Royal Navy's Revolution War soldiers, Royal Navy's has assemblers has the peoples. A lot of people just gather in and assemble for the fortress, and maybe sometimes it looks like about Royal Marines, and just like Walker Torres and the commander, officers, and soldiers. He was very classical, and so appreciated, pretty interesting, pretty exhausted, pretty warm up, and he has been about interested. He's been about very notices, is all about those movies, all about James Norton's from Jack Davenport. As they know as the and as known as it about for the features on its Port Royal for the East India Trading Company for the British Empire for the England, and he came down there into the portway, and Mullo and Mutah just stopping for the Jack Sparrow, and let's take a look at it. He literally walked in to take a look about the HMS Interceptor, and those he has he made it from the Commodore Man of War, and HMS Dauntless play acid about very such things about HMS Victory, Endeavour, and also they have the British ships, and all of them have American ones. For once every time, it could be possibility. It looks to be about feel good, feel free, and he steals the ships. He's trying to get away from it, and he's been protecting those ships, and Elizabeth the Commodore is just walking into the fortress, into the oceans, into the rock and cliff, and when she's cannot be breathed, and she fell into the water into the deep in the beach. But he hears her splashing into the cliff. She came down there. What is going on? She's drowning. The rocks, and he literally said something about a machinist. He's going down into the deep in the ocean floor. But he can't swim, and he's put his stuff back very carefully. He did not gonna lose them. He did not gonna lose him. He jumps over to rescue him, and he tries to hear her to ask that go, and they can hear that. They could hear the starter for it, right? And the first thing is more as they have been doing that for once in a while, and Jack rescues for Elizabeth, saves her from underwater. When the Aztec girl just dress up, he's too fit, he's too tight, he's too fit to dress up. And she put it into the ground in the portway. She's not breathing today. She's not yet. She's safe. He saved her, and so he looked into the Aztec code. Where did she get that? He challenged it for Jack Sparrows from Commodore, and his Royal Navy's lieutenants, and they literally just be almost a bit of captures. But anyway, the most of it he has came from the East India Trading Company. He has to deal with the meat. He says he's a pirate, so he's been about Captain Jack Sparrow wasn't been a chain on him on his 2 hands. He almost choked up her. He was a no reason. He has no reason to her to be the most of have very most of respectable, most of the kind of mess too. He just pushing them. He just pushing her to them into the Commodores and the soldiers. They literally just run into his gates in the port. He swings around, and he goes in. He swings in. He swings his forward down. He runs, and tries to shoot him. He tries to shoot the pirate, and tries to shoot them but 2 times. He tries to search them for the Captain Jack Sparrow, wanting it. Wanted him alive, and he was coming up. He's coming to Mr. Brown's farm, but the donkey does. So I'm gonna just finish up with you guys. So this is my first day of the Movie Madness on Pirates of the Caribbean Pirates of the Caribbean Movie Madness, just as today. So, okay, mateys, don't forget to subscribe for more contests to type a letter to the fan site www.com. So send a letter to the .us. So to tell everybody your friends, Jugger Nuggets, Georgie Star Blogger, Big Brother, Kid Behind the Camera, and Manny Corn, Juliet Riley, Bridget West, Psycho Dad, Larry's Lounge, and the Angry Grandpa Shows, Creed, Bro Squad, Wagging Dad, Derek Diesel Daily, Space Jams Gardens, Q-Bang Guy, Nesbook, The Book Show, The Q-Bang Life, and those who don't have a YouTube channel, 21 subscribers. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Google, find the Twitch/stream, Google, gaming store, gaming channels, and good juggy stores, Cockle Talk, Cockle Stories, and Play Store, and members. So send us to the Android, send on the YouTube channels. So don't forget. So keep it rich, mateys. See you guys tomorrow. See you guys tonight. So it's to be continued on the Movie Madness today. This is my first time. Don't forget. So keep it rich, mateys. See you tonight.